Recovering, man.
Recovering.
Just in general. Like, I work Tuesday to Saturday. So this is like the beginning of my weekend.
Oh, really?
I'm just trying to
What do you
decompress.
for the photography stuff?
Yeah, it's all, I do like photo editing. It's not glamorous or anything, but it pays the bills. I work from home.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
So.
And a skill that will be used in other areas.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's something. I do like that it is like creative. Like I personally have been like the one to kind of develop like our Photoshop options, like as far as alterations go. Like, oh, the sky's not blue, make it blue. The grass isn't green, make it green, and
oh, wow.
Day to night sort of thing. You know, for like a cheap like twilight shot. Yeah, so it's mostly, unfortunately, tedious at this point, just because I've done it so long and so much. Like I can edit photos in my sleep, but like there's still an aspect of creativity to it. So it's, you know, I can't complain on that front.
Yeah,
it's better than working at Macy's.
God,
dude, I did that for a season.
Oh, really?
In between, I was an IC the first year that I was there.
What is work like at the mall?
Yeah, man. Yeah, at
building
Green
inside of a
Hills.
building.
Oh my God, it was like the people that I worked with were sweet people. They were on it. They were cool people, but like all the management, it's all so manufactured, and I don't know. I'm not, you know. But I had to, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to make money, man.
Was that last winter? Or?
No, that was like 2015.
Oh.
No, thank God. Oh, God. No.
Yeah.
No, dude. No,
Macy's
I haven't
in
done that.
Chattanooga?
No, the one in Green Hills here, man.
Green
It's,
Hills.
I don't know, man. Malls are weird, dude.
What made you choose Macy's?
Because they were hiring.
Oh.
Like the place where I am now, I started as an IC, and in the winter of that year, they were like, we had a meeting. No one's going to be let go. We're going to keep all the ICs on. The next day I get a call that's like...
What's an IC?
Like contractor.
Oh, okay.
So like, just not taxed as an employee. So
I get
kind of...
Right.
And they have no obligation to keep you paid and working, and you have no contract like that is beyond day to day.
Right.
So it's... Yeah, but at the time, like, and even like, I'm glad that I did that in order to come back to work where I am, because at the time I didn't have a ton of experience in like graphic design and visual, like photo editing, anything like so I knew I wanted to come back to that. I knew it was going to come back. So for the season, the winter, the Christmas season at Macy's, I bore through the Mariah Carey covers. And
what did you do there? Just sales associate?
Selling suits, man. It was all right. I learned how to fit a nice suit. Yeah. So it's got its ups, but I mean, if it weren't for the pay, it's all because of the pay. It's trash the way that they treat the people there.
Yeah.
But what do you expect?
Not really a system worth fighting, right?
No.
Just go start something else.
No, and it's a weird double-edged sword. It's like one of those things where you look back on like almost like a hard time fondly. You know what I'm saying? Because it creates inspiration,
right?
And that sort of thing.
Through that, yeah.
Yeah, and it gives you some level of like, all right, I've made it past that. Things are better now. It's progression, and yeah.
Well,
so I don't look back on it as a bad decision, but
you learned a lot.
Working paycheck to paycheck ain't a joke.
No, it's not. Very real. All right, well, hey everyone, welcome to the Nashville Artist Podcast. I'm Jordan, and today Stephen Byard is here.
Hello.
Welcome. So, where are you from?
I was born in Jersey, lived in New York until I was about 7, and then moved to Memphis and grew up there. That's, I consider myself a Tennessean.
Okay.
But it's, it's a whole complicated young backstory.
High school in Memphis?
Houston.
Mm-hmm. So
It's in Germantown. It's like an offshoot. It's like what Franklin is to Nashville, sort of thing. So kind of just it was a nice part of town.
Do you have any siblings?
Mm-hmm. I got 2 little brothers. They're twins. They're about what are they? They're 6 years younger than me, and they look exactly like me. Like dead on mirror images. All 3 of us. We get mistaken for triplets.
Where are they?
The one is down in Memphis right now, and the other one is in Tupelo, and they are both getting married this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a hectic fall season. We're going to be going one of them is getting married in Memphis next month, and then the other one is getting married in Breckenridge,
Colorado.
Yeah, in December. So
you're gonna get some skiing in.
I was thinking about that, man. We're going to be there for a few days, and I think I'll be able to. I've never skied, but I've snowboarded once, and I can chill on the bunny slopes, have a good time. Just cruise down and enjoy myself. I'm hoping that I could squeeze in a day, because I assume that there's resorts like right there in the town.
Breckenridge, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I mean, I just never been myself, so I'm hoping that.
All I hear is Breckenridge, great place to ski.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been, but skiing, snowboarding is.
I love skiing.
Oh god, it's so much fun.
I love skiing.
It's so much fun. It's so calming. Like I don't do. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of like secluded, like a little. Once you're out in the middle of the runs, like you're kind of disconnected. There's not. It's solace.
Yeah.
In
there's no obligation, even though you might be around other people. You don't really have to talk to them. You can just be in your own.
No, just have some earbuds and cruise, man. Yeah, I won't be hitting any black diamonds or anything like that. I'm more of a green, kind of a bunny slope kind of guy. But I like to move from A to B.
As long as you have fun
at a slow, steady pace.
That's awesome. Are they into music or anything? Art?
One of them was into painting, and we grew up doing, drawing and painting and whatnot, but they haven't held on to it as much as we have in the past, I guess. But one of them he'll every now and again he'll bust something out and feel creatively inspired and get down. But no music. Oh god, I wish. Have 3 brothers look dead on exactly alike in a band. That'd be sick.
Oh yeah. So what were you into as a kid?
I was a big Pokemon card guy, and would just sit around and draw Pokemon cards and Goku. I was a big drawing and visual art kid. Never did any music until later on. So that was my creative outlet back in the day, and I'm really I took a long time off, because ever since college I started playing music, and I fell in love, obviously. It just it's kind of it's like a pit. Just and a good pit. Just like an endless, you'll never reach the bottom. There's never gonna be an end result, which it's just the case for all art, but just making music and having this intangible sort of vibrating space is such a cool medium. It's so strange that everything's vibrations, man. It's all vibrations. All vibrations. But I've only recently gotten back into been consistently drawing and painting and doing all sorts of visual personal projects. I just got the new iPad. Oh god, Procreate's so sick, man.
Oh my god.
It's fun. It's tight, yeah.
So you really into Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon?
I was, yeah, man. Oh god. I would just sit around and just wait for Dragon Ball Z to come on. And Toonami.
And then draw stuff while you're watching it? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was pretty good, you know. I just like stare at a picture and then like,
Like, what are you doing, young Stephen? I'm drawing.
I'm busy. I'm making masterpieces, Mom.
Like, leave me alone. Give me more Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Oh God, no. I'm still shy about the things that I create. That's why I don't. Yeah, you got some Pokemon cards right here. There you go. Holographic Pikachu. Let's go. Pika Bolt. That's a ridiculous move. But I was always like, I don't know, just I'm still so shy and timid when it comes to sharing the things that I make. So even as a kid, like, you know, they're like, oh, that's a very good drawing. It's like, no, hide it. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, put it. Then I don't know where that came from. Just I guess a lack of confidence. But you know, gotta have something to fight.
And sometimes you gotta kind of treasure your little artistic pieces to yourself, and they don't always have to be.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, obviously social media has like amped up the way in which we share art and everything.
Oh God.
And for the longest time, like, I was only a Facebook guy, like, not because I didn't want to branch out or anything, but I just didn't have, I don't know, I didn't really get other social medias. But now I'm like fully Instagram, and I love the aspect of you can just share a picture. You can write like one little thing. You don't have to have any thoughts necessarily. You don't have to have any thoughts at all. You can just post a picture. Here you go. It doesn't have to, I don't know, I feel like Facebook and other things, like they're meant to have words and whatnot attached to them. And so I've been gravitating, like, it's honestly having like an Instagram has made me want to, you know, make things and try to break through that tendency to hide and keep what I make to myself, you know.
Right.
Which is, I'm not, it's a weird space, the social media space, but I do like that one aspect of it, being a creative person.
Yeah, and Instagram's a very visual promoted app. Like, it's all about the visuals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool, man. It just being able to, I don't have to read anything. If I just want to look at things, I just look at things.
Yeah.
If I want to share something, I don't have to say anything about it. I usually write like some ridiculous non sequitur as the title or whatever.
Your recent post were over those balls.
Those balls. Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I saw someone did something. I'm a big texture guy, like as far as creating texture without actually using texture. And so like a lot of those, like in that image specifically, is like, you know, solid objects, but the way that I've manipulated them and like placed them in front of and behind each other, like they created a texture to go along with that. Like the thing that made me, like, I went into that project with the idea of making it one of those like endless wallpaper. Like I shared that part as well, to where basically you design it and then divide it into four corners and then draw in between. That's
reminds me of like the infinite or light of being, the Alex Gray, the Netta being, where it's like,
oh yeah, that's way beyond. God, that Alex Gray's he's crazy.
Trippy dude.
That's a trippy dude. I mean, if you're, God, you hanging out with, you know, what's his face, Maynard.
Yeah, Maynard
Keegan and
Maynard James Keenan.
And oh my God, the
Danny Carey and Justin Chancellor.
Yeah, Danny Carey's a freaking animal.
I have that. You saw that portrait of Danny Carey in my office?
Is that who it was? I don't know. He's kind of an ambiguous looking dude. He just has long hair. He's kind of. It's not. I mean, it's not the same as Maynard James Keenan with his mohawks and his crazy shit and whatnot and.
Right.
But yeah, Alex Gray hanging out with those dudes, you know.
Danny is like 6'5" though. He's like 6'5", jacked. Dude. Long hair. He looks like a jock.
Yeah, he does a little bit. I mean, those, like, they're weird dudes, very much in touch with just their energy.
Yeah, math, science.
Oh, yeah.
Literature, all coming together.
I've never gone into the occult sort of.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like Danny.
Geometry that he does. Yeah.
He's obsessed with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. Some of the things he comes up with, it's pretty bonkers.
Yeah.
I'm a big Tool fan.
Same here, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you saw that Lateralis picture in my bedroom, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Man, they are such inspirational people.
It's I don't know. They're when you hear about someone that just really dives into the process, because like I've listened to interviews with Maynard.
Oh yeah.
And they just like, back in the day, when they were real rowdy.
Oh yeah.
Like to just go out, they talk about, from time to time just going out to the forest and taking crazy drugs and then that's it. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, Danny's like, for every bong hit, psychedelic trip, sports I played, and everything is all what influenced my music or like my drumming.
I mean, I feel like that sort of thing is true for everyone. Like you're only the culmination of all the other things that you've done in your life. And so whether you like it or not, like those things come into play.
Exactly.
Like it's
whether they have nothing to do with music or not, they still have everything to do with music.
Yeah. I guess an example of that going into like the sports world is like back in like high school, I got big into running.
Oh yeah.
And I discovered that like, I had my iPod, whatnot. I'd run like 4 miles a day. And I discovered that I could only include songs in a playlist if the tempo matched my gait, my running gait, because otherwise, like if it was too fast or too slow, then I'm either trying to run too fast and just dying, or I'm running too slow and
losing
and dying.
Yeah, running too slow, you're just like,
and so like now, like I find myself sometimes gravitating at times to that same sort of running tempo, even still, just because that's what I listened to so much for a while.
What's a song that's at running tempo that you can think of?
Oh God, I will admittedly that playlist. I mean, it's back in high school, so some of them some of them are not good. But there was, oh man, I had the one song that I remember. I listened to Bloodless by Buckethead. Oh, yeah. Just, like, on repeat at times, because it was, like, the perfect tempo.
I remember Jordan by Buckethead.
Yeah.
The Kill Switch.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I play Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, my God. I guess, playing Guitar Hero, that...
Dude,
that was way before I played music, and I realized after a couple years of playing, I sat down and I was just like, man, if I had put as much practice into actually learning to play music as I did in this stupid game, then I would be pretty good. Yeah, Bloodless is the only one that comes to mind. They're that I'm willing to even admit right now, just because there are definitely others, but like it's high school.
Right. So what first got you into music?
So it was freshman year of college, away from home for the first time, and like growing up, I worked for my family's business and spent a lot of time doing that. Like
what is that?
They have a vending company down in like vending machines down in Memphis, just all over the county, and like at the time it was like just trying to they were starting up still, and so I would pack up boxes to go to certain places, and then when I was able to drive, I would be going and stocking vending machines and getting money and whatnot. And so I never really, I don't know, it was like a job at for the majority of that time. And so when I got to college, I suddenly had all this extra free time that I never really had. And my buddy who I was rooming with had a nice guitar and nice, sound setup, and this big, like 150 watt Spider Line 6 amp with all the different presets, just for someone that's just learning, it was like a dream. You just turn it and all of a sudden you got this crazy delay and reverb, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. And so one day I was like, all right, teach me something. And he taught me Wonderwall. So the first thing I learned to play was Wonderwall, and from that moment, that day, it was like, all right, I'm not hanging out with y'all. I'm gonna be in my room playing music. And then that would have been like spring of freshman year, and then that whole summer after freshman year, I went back home. I didn't hang out with anyone. I took notebook paper and drew lines and put down the dots for scales and different chord variances and whatnot, and just sat on my bed just staring, just plucking away, man, on my shitty little Araya stray cat. Oh, it's sick. I still have it. It's like cherry red. It's like from the 80s. It looks metal. It's time.
Wow.
Oh man. Oh god, I almost bought a 7-string guitar for my first, and I, at the time I didn't know what a standard guitar was, but the one that I was looking at initially would have been like really metal.
This is when you're 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what guitars then were you like, wow, the person is badass, I want to be more like them?
So yeah, all right. So I loved the Beatles. So I got, and I just wanted something that seemed like classic, or that felt classic, that, just like a simple, chill thing that, I didn't want anything too flashy. And that first guitar was real flashy. And so once I saved up, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get a Les Paul and just chill. You've seen it. You've seen the Les Paul, my gray one, the little silver burst on it. That's what I played with in Canopy. Yeah. That whole time, and just wanted something simple, but at the time iconic. Which if any guitars are iconic, Les Paul would be one of them.
Right. So the Beatles, who else who were you I want to get more skills like that?
The Chili Peppers. Dude, John Frusciante can get it. They're coming back, dude. He just rejoined the band. Oh,
really? They kicked Klinghoffer out?
Well, I don't think they kicked him out, but it's not like
he was just
surely from everything I hear, it's they're pretty amicable on it. It's not, and I'm sure that Klinghoffer's not gone. He's still going to be involved with them.
Well, he's still,
but John Frusciante is what made, in my opinion, without him they wouldn't have been what they are, because they owe everything on Californication. Without John Frusciante would have been not Californication.
Right. It's true. I just think of Under the Bridge.
Yeah. Oh, nonsense. Well, yeah. That's, oh god. Talk about dark times and people doing drugs. It's oh god. But I didn't know, I got a Les Paul, and I just didn't know anything about setting up a guitar, and I just so I played this guitar that was not meant for shredding for so long, and only recently in the last 2 years got a Fender that is more suited to what I play. And
the Les Paul's not suited for shredding?
Well, mine was not. Mine just because I didn't have the action set up right. I just didn't.
Was it everything really raised off the
fretboard? Yeah, a little bit. And I don't know, I don't know, just something, guitars have different feels, man. It always amazed me, my buddy who taught me to play initially.
What is his name?
Ryan Tudor.
Yeah,
you met him. Yeah, you met him back in the day. Yeah, of course. He lived with me for a while. And he had a Schecter C, I can't remember what it was called, a C1 Plus or something, but it was talk about guitars that just feel natural in your hand, and just put it on, you can get to going real quick. And I realized I wanted something that felt like that. Just it just feels so natural. So yeah, I'm happy with what I had. You know, I just, you know, I don't know, you're a musician.
Yeah.
There's always new toys.
You gotta try.
There are always new toys.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome. So you would say like the Beatles, freaking John Frusciante. Who else influenced?
Tool. Tool, for sure. Yeah, those big, just like deep. I love bassy guitar, man. Like kind of just deep, thick sounding. And obviously some Rage too.
Oh yeah.
I was messing around with that little tapping thing that Tom Morello does. Which is just nonsense. It's like DJing on a guitar.
It is. It sounds like scratching.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
awesome. And so, but you would say your first art love was like visual art.
Yeah, and I'm lucky enough to have a kind of a natural. At least I think so. I feel it comes pretty naturally when I get down into it. But, you know, getting started on a visual project is such a daunting thing for me at times, because it's like you're really starting from nothing. And there's no, like with music, you can just push a button and just see how that button feels. Like hit a key, hit a synth, just like, all right, now this can go somewhere else. And obviously the same goes for visual art, but it just didn't come as, I don't know, the different aspects of each medium come more naturally than others.
Right.
And I don't know if that's a thing that everybody feels. I'm sure that it's gotta be. But,
sure.
You know, I could more easily get started on projects in music. I could more easily come to a happy ending point with projects that are visual. But it's harder to get started.
I see. Nice. So, going back to guitar, what do you like to play? Like, if you're gonna make up your own stuff, what kind of style would you say?
Well, now like fully, Johnny Greenwood is the man.
Oh God,
Johnny Greenwood, yeah, Radiohead and Tame Impala. Like the new wave of like that's been in the last like, I guess it's not new anymore, but like the last like 10 years of like indie rock development is, you know, like shoegazy and that sort of thing is so nice. I'm a big pedal guy.
Gotcha.
And so like I've basically set up this whole system in my room that has like synths and drum machines all hooked up, and then they're also routed to a looping pedal on my guitar chain that is, you know, matched MIDI, and so I can just like make full loops with all of it that stay in sequence, and
wow,
and that's, yeah, it's cool.
But lose yourself.
Yeah, that's definitely a time. And me and Jesse Carrots will just go in there. I'll hand him a mic. He'll just say some of his wild words and start from scratch. And I think I finally found a setup that like I can pretty much do just about anything I want. You know, if any sort of sound I want, I can get there.
Oh yeah. So it's quite the palette.
Quite a what?
Quite the palette.
Yeah, man. It's
drum beats and
cool.
Everything. You can like.
Yeah, I got a little. I started off with a little TR-8, the 808.
You go into like odd time signatures.
Yeah. That one's as far as sequencing, that one's not as intuitive as the other machine that I just recently bought called the Deluge. But yeah, you can definitely go into weird time signatures, and you know, it's like I've been paying a lot more attention to like 80s music recently.
Like specifically who?
Well, I mean, I don't really. There's not really a specific. I guess, you know,
it's just the sounds.
A little. Yeah, just like it's certain songs, like Heart of Glass, Blondie.
Yeah.
It's like that song. Oh God. Debbie Harry back in the day, dude. Where you at, Debbie? It's
like Duran sounds and stuff like that.
I don't know. I honestly haven't listened to much Duran. I don't. It's not something that I haven't found any like a ton of bands that like I just follow.
Like new wave.
From that age.
Blondie's like new wave.
Blondie, yeah, some Tears for Fears.
Oh yeah, Tears for Fears.
The big synthy sounds, which is, it's so strange because like back when I was a kid, I had this weird aversion to like 80s music.
Oh really?
It felt, I don't even know how to describe it, but it felt
cheesy or
no, not cheesy, but I don't know how to describe it in any other way than disturbing.
Interesting.
And I don't know why that is, but
I would have thought the 90s would be more disturbing than the 80s.
I mean, well, there are some bands that, you know, it's like, yeah, definitely that were weird, and I don't know, like,
I feel like 80s were pretty tame compared to the 90s and like art, everything. Like,
I don't know, when did Primus come out?
Dude, that was
is that 90s or 80s?
Yeah, maybe late 80s, early 90s, but
fucking weird.
Dark.
They're weird. Yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff, but like as far as like just going on like the popular music from the decades, 80s was back, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, there's something I feel off about, and I don't know if it was like, I don't know, man.
It's like false sense of happiness or something. Feeling
maybe, I don't know. It feels like the blending of machine and man.
Oh, okay. So you're talking more like the electrical, like when we got more synthy based, more
like
it's electronic side of 80s.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't have any sort of direct way to describe it, but I had an aversion.
Okay.
I had an aversion.
And now, how do you feel about it?
Oh yeah, like I love it.
Oh,
yeah, it's. I mean, we've fully, like, I feel like in, you know, music now, we've, you know, looped around to so many of the ideals from then, especially in like the way of synths and programmed music. You know, like look at, you know, what we have now, like all the electronic music and everything.
Yeah. And
you know, some of it isn't for me, and some of it is very much for me.
Yeah.
But like even in like, I don't know, there's, and it's something that's like pushed its way into just about every style of music. Like, you know, like even hip hop now, it's got reminiscent of the synthy 80s, which, I mean, obviously hip hop, you know, has deep roots in the 80s just in general.
Definitely.
But at least from my perspective, it seems like we've looped back around, and that synthy almost, it's meant to sound less, it feels like it's almost meant to sound a little shitty in a way, and not shitty in a bad way, just like less clear.
Right. I feel like a lot of people are trying to emulate that sound again, like, I don't know if you've ever listened to Unknown Mortal Orchestra.
Of course,
the Little Blue House song, that whole album is like sounded very lo-fi.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy's
like Ariel
an animal.
Can get really lo-fi.
Yeah.
And same with Tame Impala can get pretty lo-fi.
Oh yeah. 100%, man. Oh, dude, all those dudes are animals.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Tame Impala or Unknown Mortal, but they're on my list.
I've seen Tame Impala like 5 or 6 times.
Dude,
I saw Unknown Mortal Orchestra open for Grizzly Bear.
Sick.
At the Ryman.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was back in 2012.
Okay, I guess, that makes sense. I don't know who would open for who on that now. I mean, I guess
Shields had just come out by Grizzly Bear.
I don't think I've listened to that one.
Or no, I'm sure. I think that it came out in 2012. But it was that tour, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, one of my biggest regrets in life. I went to Lollapalooza in 2012, and Tame Impala was there, and it was right after Lonerism had dropped. But I didn't know who Tame Impala was until like 4 months later.
Really? Yeah.
I've looked back on it, and it's like, man, God, the missed opportunities.
Right. The first time I saw Tame Impala was 2013 at Bonnaroo.
Oh, hell yeah. So that would have been...
He was at like this tent or that tent. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of, like, you know, thinner sounds, you know, like,
the real...
But like, I've always, like, I've got a deep spot for big sounding things that sound full but aren't necessarily heavy, like, you know, like a Radiohead, like, you know, they're the whole thing is full, but it doesn't have, like, it's not aggressive even.
Like, massive or aggressive. Okay, so now I gotta ask you this question. Because last time I saw you at your house, you were building this contraption.
Oh yeah.
This musical contraption, and I was like, what in the hell?
So it's I've been getting into. I've always loved like film scoring, and I've been lucky enough to be able to do that for some of my friends. And I'm working on an intro for a podcast right now, actually. And this machine is called the Apprehension engine, and it was developed, I believe. Don't necessarily quote me on this, I guess, but I believe that it was commissioned around the time of the movie The Witch. That one. And it's essentially just like a plywood box with two. I now have there's two guitar necks on it that are now attached, and there's a hurdy-gurdy in one of them that's basically got a couple cello strings sitting on it. And when you rotate that, it just makes like a whoa, drony sort of sound. And with like all the mechanical, like with just the way that it's built, like you'll get these little clunky like little things that happen that are just impurities. But because they're actually made, like those sounds aren't like synthesized, like they're, like you have like a bolt like catches for a second, it's a real sound, and it still just sounds so nice. Wow. Even with the impurities. And so I really am wanting to use that to just mess around in the realm of scoring.
And that's called an apprehension engine.
Apprehension engine. Yeah, I've wanted one ever since I discovered what it was, but I didn't, like I didn't find a tutorial on how to even loosely make one until last year. And it's been a long process. I put it off for a while just because I'm not a woodworker, and it's very intense.
Hands-on.
Yeah, it's very like putting dowels through everything to dampen vibrations, and like it's because of how exact I want it to be, and because I want to be able to use it for a long time. It's been somewhat stressful at times when I'm like, oh man, if I don't do this part right, then I'll have to start from scratch, and that's oh god. With all the work that I've put into it, I don't want to have to do that. And so I've just now, in the last like 3 months, started really getting into it. And actually, after this, I'm going to go home and put in, I got some hot rails humbuckers that are going to go in, and it's close. It's real close, man.
Awesome.
So might have some weird plucky and...
Yeah, I want you to send me a video of it.
Oh, dude, once it's on there, everyone I know will know that I have it. It's going to be...
It can make noises now, though, right?
Yeah, if I put them in there, but there's the pickups aren't in there yet, so it doesn't have like that whole thing. But once it's done, there's going to be contact pickups like for that they use in like violins and stuff like that are going to be inside to pick up like tappings and just general noise. And then there's going to be humbuckers for the stringed instruments. There's going to be an open face reverb tank that I can hit the coils on and like make crazy distorted sounds, and it's all going to be routed to an EQ, and I'll be able to put that into that guitar looper I was telling you about and actually loop things in time with drum machines and do the whole thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I'm stoked, man. I just gotta find a place to put it.
Is it a big thing?
It's like a cool like 3.5 feet of
heavy
wooden box. Getting heavier. It's manageable,
Nice. But you'll be able to, like, once it's built, you could move it around.
Yeah, 100%. Josiah
to get concerts.
Josiah wants to do something with it once it's done, like similar to like did you ever see Sam and Chicken? The little band, or the band that he has.
Yeah.
With Alan, Ralph, and Sweet Chad.
Sweet Chad.
And Andrew, yeah. Josiah's talked about once I'm done with that, just being able to, come sit in and just see what could happen, man. But we'll see. It's gonna be cool. I'm stoked.
Oh yeah. So photography is something you do for work. Digital art, something you do for fun.
Well, it's I don't do the actual photography for work. It's I get just a ton of photos every day
and then you pick and choose
that I put together. Yeah, and yeah, I definitely mess around with photography, and like we do like the live at Josh's house at our place that Josh Whiteman, my roommate, like directs and puts together, and it's I just run camera on that, but like I love filming things. It's capturing things like that are actually happening in the moment, like in video, is something so cool.
Oh no! Well, awesome, dude. Well, I got a couple more questions for you. So, how long have you been living in Nashville?
I moved up here from Chattanooga after college in 2014.
Okay. So when you graduated, or
about a year after. Yeah, I stayed in Chattanooga I finished in 2013, in August of 2013, and then a year later moved up here with the band to pursue that. Just because at the time I'd been in Chattanooga for a while. It's not a huge city. It's a beautiful city. But we wanted to try something new and have something bigger, and we were lucky enough to get a nice little following built, and we just wanted to keep the momentum going, and not be whatever size fish in whatever size pond.
Right. Right. Being a big fish in Chattanooga.
Not that we were a big fish, but
not the same as being a big fish in Nashville.
Yeah, you're a big fish in Nashville. You're a big fish. Period.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez Louise.
Awesome. So, what would you say is something you've learned living here?
I don't know. Just being exposed to all the different variations of creativity has just, for so long, I was just stuck on like, I want to play music. That's it. Like, that's what I want to do. And it took me living here for a long time to just just relax and do what you want, be creative, but you do what feels right at whatever moment. Just because at least for me personally, it's got to feel natural and right. And I don't always know how to get into that headspace for any given medium at any moment. And so really just the one thing that I've learned is just to don't go into things creatively with expectations. Like, have the drive to, like, I want to make this good. I don't know what this is going to be. And then take off.
All right. Awesome. If someone was to move here to pursue art and music, what advice would you give them?
I think the best advice is getting into, like, not trying to tackle the whole thing. Like, talking about Nashville specifically? Don't try to tackle the whole thing at once. Like, find your cult, find your group. And like here we have Cold Lunch, and there's To Go and To Go Records, and like find the group that you can get a nice confident start with and branch out from there. Like when we moved up here, we were kids, we're like what, 19, 20, whatever.
Yeah, 21, 22.
Yeah, couldn't even legally drink. And, so little baby children, we just tried to tackle the whole thing by storm, get it all going. And I don't know, it was so long ago, I don't even remember what it was all like. But I feel like if an artist comes in and finds their group, then they find you at the same time find people that will push you in directions that you want to go, and it'll be enjoyable. You don't have to feel a need to make everyone happy.
Right.
Find the people that you're going to make happy, and then try to make more people happy.
Yeah. So, like, find your group, your little niche people.
Yeah.
And through that, you'll stand out because people will see your little group of artistic.
Yeah, and it takes a while, man. It takes patience. Be patient. Like, grind.
They called this the 7-year city.
I could see that 100%. I'm just now feeling. And it has now been 7 years. Like, this, I think this is like exactly 7 years this month. It just now feels like I've found like a nice, I don't know,
footing.
The footing, the group, the people that I can vibe with. And,
call your own.
Yeah, and I love them all. They're good people. You're good people.
Good people.
Oh man, but it amazes me that I've lived here as long as I have, because now this is the longest I've lived anywhere outside of Memphis, and it just seems like, Chattanooga felt like such a big part of my life, but relatively so. Like, I was only there for
4 years.
4 or 5 years, I guess. Yeah. So
pretty formative years, though. I mean,
oh yeah, 100%. God, man, college. It's what.
I feel like the music scene when we were there, or I want to say running it, whatever, but like when we were doing house shows, parties, and like,
oh, we had a nice
Jacopo and Canopy were playing together.
Dude,
there was a great little cult following of like people going to house shows and like venues. Like, we had a good music scene.
We had that brief stint in the summer where your band Jacopo and our band, like, we put on house shows at my house, and I didn't, I don't know, I'm not the most socially adept guy, or at least I don't envision myself that way. And I was like, oh, we're gonna invite people, and there's gonna be no one there. And get there, get going. There's like 100 people in my house, and the so much so that the back deck, I walked out on the back deck, and there were enough people that all of a sudden the whole deck dropped like 4 inches, and I was like, everybody inside, and I knew we had another party coming up in like a couple weeks, and so I got my next door neighbor. I was like, yo, help me with this. He's like a carpenter. He was just like a jack of all trades sort of thing. And he came over with a 4x4 and a concrete slab, put it up under the deck, and just sledgehammered it in, and was like, we're good. It ain't falling now. But yeah, I very vividly remember walking out on the back porch, and just all of a sudden the whole thing just poof. It's like, oh, get inside. This isn't good. But yeah, oh man, the cops hated us. They shut it down after the third one. They were, I don't know if I ever told you, after that last party, like, we were in the middle of our set, and my roommate came up to me, like, while we're like in between songs, and he's like, yo, you gotta come outside. We gotta stop right now. I was like, oh no, one more. And he was like, no, like, come look. And walk outside, and there were like 6 cops, just arms crossed, standing on the sidewalk, looking at our house. It was like, all right, let's calm this down. And they basically were just like, yo, if we're gonna have to keep coming back every week, we're gonna have a problem. And I was like, oh, all right, fair enough. I mean, there were a shit ton of people. It was nonsense. Oh God, when I walked back in the house and said, all right, guys, the cops are here, the panic. It's like, oh my God, yeah, people were jumping over our fence and everything. It's like, no, it's okay. Just calmly go out, go home. Don't be stupid. But yeah, we had a nice little, we had a good group. We did. It was
Jonathan's house.
I looked
the Yellow House.
Oh yeah, Yellow House, dude. Oh, I never played there, man.
Yeah, that was
I never played Yellow House, but I definitely saw you guys, and New Madrid was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was sick, man. Yeah, had a good. That was a good group. Oh man, that was, what was it? Isabel and
Benjamin.
Ben. Oh man.
Hornsby.
Yeah. We had good people, man.
Yeah, that was
I miss those people. I've been meaning to go back down to Chattanooga just to catch up. It's because, once again, it's a beautiful city.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
Anyone that's been there knows, and just
catch a blue hole.
It's so many, like whenever I go there, it's like all these memories. It's like, man, JJ's.
Oh, JJ's.
That's the home turf.
That was the home turf.
Oh man,
it's got a built-in crowd.
Yeah, I miss Shoemaker. He's a good boy.
Yeah. So chill. Mm-hmm. Bartender. Okay, great. So, last question.
Hit me.
What is something absurd you like to do?
Something absurd?
Or that you like?
Oh man, absurd. Oh God. I don't know, man. Because it doesn't feel absurd to me if I like it. I guess, shit. I don't even know how to describe that. I don't even know.
Describe it.
I don't know. It's something absurd.
Eerie sounds could be something absurd.
Well, yeah, I guess, I don't know. See, but once again, that's not, it doesn't feel absurd to me. Like I'll just go sit in my room and just put on loops and just sit there and go at it, man. And it gets repetitive and builds and just becomes this like eventually becomes this giant monotonous like drone, just wah. And then, it's just reveling in it. I just want to feel vibrations, man.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I guess painting, we set up a big, in our sunroom, for live at Josh's house, we set up these walls that could act as like backdrops that we could paint and just do all sorts of, we could just, since it's, it's like basically two walls within the room. So we can just do anything to those walls, because it's not part of the house, so I like, just going out and I haven't done it in a minute, but I went through a nice phase of like drawing and painting just a huge mural suave
like
sort of
blank
thing.
Do you just keep them blank?
I'm not blank anymore. It was, but yeah, just having moments that are just my own and our own, being whoever else is involved. Like, I was saying with Josiah, and you just come in and let him just recite poetry and we'll just make something, Oh yeah, we have actually an EP that we're going to drop that we've had it's been done for a year. And it's I guess this is pretty cool and out there. He is a big writer, major poet, and just beautifully insane with his words. And so he and I just made some beats. Like I made the beats and he just came in and just started talking and telling stories over it. And then we put together an EP from that. And I don't know exactly even what sort of music you could even compare it to. It's like a calmer version of like Shoo Shoo, but it's like poetry, but music.
Spoken word.
Yeah,
music.
Spoken word music.
Right.
And that's, I enjoy that a great deal.
Oh yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add, or that I didn't talk about or ask you about that you like to say?
Oh, I don't know, man. I love that you're doing this. I guess is one of the things that I've thought about ever since you've been doing. Like, people talk about starting podcasts, on a regular basis, but it's wild to, it's very, very cool when someone actually sticks with it and tries to perfect the whatever product, quote unquote, you want to call it. If it's, I hate using that term because it feels so, late stage capitalism is evil, but I love all of this.
Awesome.
I love this city. This is a great city, man, and everybody's doing something. Everybody's doing their own thing, and everything's different, but it's all based in like the same sort of drive to make something of your own.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Has anybody asked why'd you start doing this?
Well, I love watching interviews. I love studying documentaries. I love psychology, and so I like to, and philosophy. So I like to understand people and people that I enjoy or people that I find fascinating. I like to understand why it is that they do what they do, and how I can learn from them.
Okay. Yeah, man. That's a cool. And I find definitely something cool. I
find a lot of people here very fascinating. So
yeah, people are weird around here, man.
Yeah, I love
in the best way.
I love it.
It's
this is a treasure trove of untapped potential. You know what I mean? A lot of you may see people's music, but you don't necessarily hear them speak. And I feel like with our scene right now, you're not going to type in YouTube so and so band interview. There's probably not going to be anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but there probably won't be. But that's how I'm trying to fill this void.
I didn't realize you were a big psychology guy. That's cool, man. I just remembered I minored in psychology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
I love reading psychological books. I love studying different personality types.
Dude, Chattanooga was lucky enough, at UTC was lucky enough to have like a pretty nice psychology program, man. I don't know if, what's his name? I think it's Ralph Hood, Dr. Hood. I think it's Ralph Hood. But he's like he does like psychology of religion.
Oh, okay.
And it like works with like snake handlers, like the people that believe in handling snakes and drinking battery acid, and like they live through these things. Yeah, it's wild. Like the psychological aspects of why people do things that they do that aren't typical is definitely fascinating. We're crazy creatures, man.
Yeah, I'm upset. Everything that I love is conceptual. Very conceptual. I don't like just like random facts about shit. I don't care about that.
Not a big trivia guy.
No, that doesn't really like. I mean, I'm really good at remembering dates and times, but I never never cared for biology like that. I just memorized I don't know.
Oh yeah,
might sound very ignorant, but like I was very into like physics or like math or like science, like stuff that could be tracked. Stuff. I mean, not that you can't track biology, whatever, but like
more easily applicable to things that you actually do.
Algorithms, like sequences. You know what I mean? Or, since they have this and they did this might mean this about them. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like A plus B equals C sort of thing, but with regard to abstract ideas.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That was always way more entertaining to me.
Yeah, one of the things that really drew me to music, or at least that I realized, I think, drew me to music, I've always been like a pretty anxious kid. I didn't have like a psychologically, I was never really all that healthy growing up, and that's just a mixture of different things that have happened in my life, and it's not anyone's fault or anything. It just is the way it is. Mm-hmm. And I realized after playing music for a couple of years, I was like, there's something so calming in being creative on something, but like you hit a guitar on the E string at the 5th fret and it's going to vibrate at the exact same frequency as every other guitar, tuned the same way on, the universality of music was calming. Just vibrations, man. Mm-hmm. It's just vibrations.
But the mixture of vibrations can have different effects inside of you.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, you gotta read The Jazz of Physics by Stefan, I think it's Stefan Alexander. I think it's called The Jazz of Physics. I can't exactly remember the guy's name. I think it's Stefan Alexander. But basically talks, he's a big time physicist, or at least, a decently well-known physicist, but he's also a jazz musician, and he talks about like I'll take one more of those. He talks about like how music relates to the actual creation of the universe, and just because, you know, everything on some level can be described in terms of vibrations.
Right.
And whether that is abstract, you know, sometimes it's an abstract connection and sometimes it's a very literal connection. But I love I don't know, I like learning the ways in which theoretically music can relate to everything, you know, like, you know, certain styles of music, you know, like they make specific styles of music to cause certain effects in people psychologically, and that's powerful.
Music's the most powerful drug.
Well, you know, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It's addicting. Music's addicting.
Yeah, no.
What day?
It's my drug of choice.
What day have you gone where you haven't listened to music? Probably been a while.
It has been a while, man.
Because I mean, it can make you feel happy. It can make you feel energetic. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel like you're in love. It can make you feel anything. I mean, most powerful drug.
Yeah,
It can be used to seduce people. It can be
used to seduce people.
Yeah, I mean, it's
seducing me with your music. Let's go.
Seriously.
Oh man.
All right, dude. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely, dude. I'm stoked. This is amazing.